things aren't aching as much as I thought they would. It's my knees. My knees just feel weak. That is the 5th tallest waterfall in the world. That's Sutherland Falls. Bit of a hidden one there. 21 miles down. We left early today. I think it was like 7:30. Still kind of dark. And they've said it would take 6 to 8 hours. But they said that yesterday. Considering some of that was still downhill, and this is going to be as well, that was a fairly quick mile. It's almost like sleep helps. I think I'm a touch dehydrated this morning. Just almost down to whole litre. And I've only been going half an hour. It's quite humid even though it's not hot. And I think I'm just constantly sweating. And I think that's what got me yesterday. Just that brain fog was probably because I hadn't been drinking enough. Just seen a sign for the end of the walk. I was so busy looking at the beautiful colour of that water that I nearly missed another mile mark. It's flying by today. This is Imran. He's one of the 4 people with me who are crazy enough to do the Milford track, then the Routeburn track with only 1 day in between. How are we feeling about it?
Electric.
I made the mistake of, as I said, drinking lots of water. I'd just been to the toilet at the hut, and about 5 minutes in, I was like, "You're kidding me. There is nowhere for like 6 hours." So I had to dive off. I got attacked by brambles, tripped over, pissed on my own foot. But there was a family of little weckers. So there was like a mummy and a daddy and then 2 little baby weckers who were just like pecking around me, minding their own business. Today, this is just absolutely flying. And we officially have less than 10 miles to go. I never thought I'd be the kind of person who thought that 10 miles wasn't very far. What astounds me is how they built this track in the first place. At the lodge we stayed in last night, there was this old piano, very out of tune. And they were like, that came with the first people who built this lodge and found this place in the middle of nowhere. And they like shipped the piano as far upstream as they could on this little boat, and then just used rollers through the wilderness because his wife just couldn't bear to be without her piano. There were photos of it, so it's a true story. Like, obviously all this kind of stuff is modern. The Department of Conservation are constantly monitoring and rebuilding. But originally, like, how did you even... what kind of person is like, you know what, I want to walk to Milford Sound, so I'm just going to build a path through the wilderness. Well, I'm very grateful that they did. Honestly, don't know how much more this knee can take. Like, this shouldn't be hurting as much as it does. I've definitely done something to it. Here we are,
Great for tourists, though.
25 miles, we're talking about the bloody medieval banquet.
Not talking about that.
First time for everything. Hello, Weka. They're everywhere. I am fully strapped up. Attractive. I am dosed up, which is going to be interesting because if I'm a bit dehydrated and take painkillers, I tend to feel a bit faint. But I will take a bit of faintness over not being able to finish the track. Again, who am I? I used to literally have a phobia of feeling faint. Gosh, it's already so much better just being strapped. There's mile 26. 7.5 miles left. 7.5 miles. That is achievable, Jenny. Come on. Wow. It is high and it is wobbly. Look at that. Still so lucky. Kind of in pain. Kind of exhausted. But I'm full of cheese sandwich and rehydration squash. I'm still so happy that I've done this. Funny things about the Sutherland Falls. They kept talking about how Donald Sutherland saw the Sutherland Falls. I fully thought they were talking about the actor, because New Zealand's a bit weird like that and a lot of their place names are quite recent. So yeah, genuinely for a day, probably one of the stupider thoughts I've ever had was that I thought that the Sutherland Falls were named after Donald Sutherland, the actor, father of Kiefer, rather than Donald Sutherland, the person who founded this track along with somebody, Mackay. So the story goes that there was this amazing waterfall and Mackay and Sutherland fought over who it was gonna be named after, and Mackay won, so he's like, fine, you have this. And anyway, they walked on another sort of 4 miles, and then the 5th largest waterfall in the world is there. And Donald Sutherland goes, well, we'll call these ones Sutherland Falls then. So poor old Mackay lost out a bit, but I actually prefer those kind of smaller, busier waterfalls. Knee holding up so far, but it has been very level. Whoa! Oh! I can't believe I'm on this walking, wobbling thing in the middle of the river. Totally fine. So I believe this is Mackay Falls. Woohoo! Oh my god! That is beautiful. Oh my god, I could cry again. Chilly. Oh, and I'm just here on my own. No one around me. 'Cause right now I'm a falcon. I've got like 6.5 miles to go now. Woo-hoo. Although apparently they've marked the track slightly wrong. So officially it's 33.5 miles. But they said it's actually more like 34. And they kind of just did it wrong. Or I would still be on my feet, which are covered in blisters. Actually they're not, I've only got 1 blister somehow. 1 blister on my heel. Can you tell the painkillers are kicking in? It's really helping my knee, but it means I'm walking along singing Joni Mitchell in the middle of the New Zealand wilderness. Why not? There's no one around. Just the birds, innit? Be with the birds. I think I'm high. I think these are steps. You know, I'm sat on top of it. It's sat on top of it. It seems as good a place as any to have a sit down. These are supposed to be steps, but whatever.
It just magnifies like multitudes like the fear as well. So like,
yeah.
But then you do it and you think like, oh.
By the witness of the martyrs. My aim is now to sing as much of Les Mis as I can remember from start to finish, and that will get me to the end. I've had to stop my being Jean Valjean for a brief moment because I've just spotted the reflection of the mountains in this water. It's quite something. I got 1 line into I Dreamed a Dream, and then this bit looked really cool, so I thought I'd stop and have a sit down and a bite to eat and a drink before I tackle it. You can do it. This is the bit, I remember they told us about this in the briefing yesterday, that they blasted out to be able to pass well over 100 years ago, and it is sick. Oh gosh, it goes around the corner. Blimey heck. This is really cool though. It's like out of a fairy tale. I'm about halfway up. This is the exact situation that I really thought I'd be not able to move in. Paralysed with vertigo. Steep cliff face behind me, steep cliff face below me, narrow path. I'm all good. I can't believe I just did that. Okay, crack on. I've hunted you across the years. Men like you can never change. I'm halfway through Master of the House. I've kind of gone into another gear where your body can do far more beyond your mind's capabilities, and your body just kind of takes over and tells you what you need to do. It tells you when you need to stop. It tells you when you need to have a drink. It's not like thinking about it, you just do it. And that's something I'd completely lost touch with because I let my mind take over everything. Coming up to Giant's Gate. Nothing is ever going to do this scenery justice in a million years. There are worse spots for lunch. So near the end now. I'm really on the last leg. I know it's going to feel long though. It's amazing what even like a 10-15 minute rest can do. Like, listen to my pace now. We're getting there, we're getting there. I'm not singing Neighbours anymore. Once Marius and Eponine start singing that stuff about books and hair, I kind of lose my way. There's a little bird here, and it's such a cool song. Someone needs to make a song out of it. So it goes. I was like, that is a song in the making there. Now I'm coming close to the end. I literally couldn't tell you what I've been thinking about for 3 days. I don't know where my head's been. In these last couple of, just, you know, these past few minutes, I've really started thinking again. And like, is that because I feel like I'm getting back to reality at the end of this walk? I don't really know. My head's just been, do this, get this done, keep going. But now I feel like thoughts are starting to rush in. Mile 32. I just dived off a side track to come have a look at Lake Ada. This lake only formed in 1100. The Tower of London is older than this lake. Thank you, Milford Track. When you're completely on your own, you're relying on these little orange markers. Otherwise, sometimes it's not clear where the path is. That's the first cloud I've seen all day over that mountain in the distance there. I've had every kind of weather imaginable apart from hail, I think. Yeah, but no, we did have snow. It's getting tricky again. It's just this constant stony downhill. That's what's really hurting my knees. I'm just starting to get a little bit, more than a little bit, done. You know, like when you're in the desert and you see a mirage. I thought I saw the last mile marker. It's a bloody tree. That's a nice view, but secretly I'm just standing here so I can rest my legs. Oh my god! I am officially on the last mile of the Milford track. I have walked 13 miles today. I walked 9.5 miles yesterday and I walked 10 miles 2 days ago. All of this was after 3 weeks of minimal sleep and minimal food. And that was all of my anxieties rolled into one. And I got on and did it anyway. So I'm on that last bit of the track and it's suddenly very well graded, very kind of easy and accessible, and it's like where people get out of the car park and just wander along for 10 or 20 minutes and then wander back. And then you're kind of looking at the crazy people who have been walking all day thinking, oh my god, you're nuts. I'm now one of those people.
You made it.
I've made it. Where's the actual end? There is the final view. And there is the end. Let's go get a photo. Just been practicing my Kiwi accent with actual Kiwis. They say I'm pretty good. You're being filmed. You're being filmed.
Every so often,
Yes.
on the walk,
Yes.
Jenny, I would say to my husband, we're on the Milford track.
You sound like the Queen.
Well, of course, we're this way.
Oh, we did it, we did it, we did it! And now to get on the boat back to Milford Sound. Wait, this is Milford Sound. Look at that waterfall! There's people, there's other people. Very strange being on a road trip. Oh my god. god, look at all those people. This is the coolest thing ever. I've done it. I don't even want to think about the Routeburn. I'm quite spaced out. I can't believe I've achieved that. Well done, me.